Happy Saturday morning for Modern Mahjong. Time to pour yourself a cup of coffee and let's read or watch today's daily Talk of the Tiles. We have helpful tips, information about rules, and other important stuff to start your day. Today's tile topic. Let's talk about learning the 2025 card. There's been great suggestions all over, including on our Zoom with Barney. Some ideas include making all the hands with actual tiles. This helps you kind of reinforce the letters on the card into actual play. One way is writing all the variations on our hand tracker, which you could print from our website. Playing Siamese, which is two-handed, and that really gets your mind thinking. Playing online on some of the many wonderful various options. And our 2025 card playlist on YouTube, which is our channel is Modern Mahjong. If you visit modernmahjong.com, you could print the PDF of Barney's talk, and we included in there the card tracker and the dot challenge. So let us know how you learn. Comment below. Today's tile tip, we're talking about winds. If you see a wind in any other section, be sure to check those parentheses. In the quint section, for example, it shows a Kong of North, 4 norths, but in the parentheses, it says any dragon. In News and Dragons, for those of you who this is like your second card or you're just learning, it is as written. The topic, the header says News Dragons, so those news under that section are as is, unless for some reason there's a parentheses that say otherwise, and we have not seen that as long as we've been playing. Just as a little side, especially for during the Charleston or when you're collecting tiles, if there's a hand that only has 2 winds, north usually goes with south and east usually goes with west. And that's also usually the same with the patterns, but not so much lately. They've been coming up with some creative patterns where it starts with a single north or a double north and then it gets bigger. Another thing to remember is the letter E is the start of both even and east. So if, like this year, they have north-south hands and east-west hands, remember north-south goes with odd and east-west goes with even. If you happen to be collecting wins and consecutive numbers, don't forget that singles and pairs section, because that's the only place that we see north, south, or all the wins with consecutive run. So moving on. Today's rule topic is misnamed tiles, and then we're going to get to something that we've seen so much misinformation on the internet. In a regular game, if player A misnames a tile, they need to correctly name the tile. No harm, no foul. They throw a 4 bam and they say, oh, I meant 4 dot, and we've been asked, can someone else correct them? Another player could say, ooh, did you mean 4 bam? Whatever the correction needs to be made. It's not like this secretive thing that no one else can point out that there was a mistake. The player is not permitted to replace the tile with the one they named, even if they have that tile in hand. So they threw a north, but they meant to throw a south and they have a south in hand. Actions speak louder than words. You can't just pick that tile up off the table and replace it. If before it's renamed, player B hears the discard and they start making an exposure from tiles in their hand and they go to claim the tile. If an exposure is made with an incorrectly named tile, the hand is dead. So player B has a dead hand, but player A, who misnamed the tile, gets no penalty. So this is why it's a best practice to first call the discard, confirm it's what you heard, place that discard on the flat top part of your rack, and then add tiles from the sloping part of your rack. Now let's say you watched our videos and you know to be prepared and know what tiles you're going to call, and the tile named is your winning tile. So right away, without even looking, you say Mahjong. Now everyone knows what tile you need, even if it wasn't the one that was discarded. In that case, and only for Mahjong, you get paid, we call it payment by penalty. The person who discarded the tile and named it wrong pays the person who would have had Mahjong with that tile 4 times the value of the hand, and others don't pay. So the next question, and we have seen people have forwarded us videos and rules, and this is not correct. Discarding a joker, if you misname it, does give the player who calls it a win. And we have seen people saying, no, a discarded joker must be, a dead tile. Yes, that is true. A correctly named discarded joker is a dead tile. But what happens if it's misnamed? Do the rules we just discussed apply? And they do. When discarding a joker, the safest, easiest thing to say is joker or same. But you also could say the last discard. It is when a correctly named discarded joker is discarded, it is dead. Now the tile before it can't be claimed. The joker can't be claimed. Everything is done. Let's say player A discards a 5 dot. Player B discards a joker and says 5 dot. That does not resurrect that 5 dot. They are both dead tiles that cannot be called. But what happens if instead of saying 5 dot, player B says 5 bam? Now it's a misnamed tile. And now the rules from the previous discussion apply. If player C, for some reason, hears 5 bam, which is what they said, and that's their winning tile, even if they needed that tile for a single or a pair or whatever, they're not getting the joker. So you have to wrap your mind around the fact that you're not calling a joker. Basically, you're getting payment by penalty. So they would again get 4 times the value of the hand from player B who threw it. And this is a way that we teach players, because new players always say, but you're calling a joker, you're calling a joker. Even on the league's frequently asked questions, they do say this is the exception to the rule of calling a joker. We find it easier to coin this as you're not necessarily showing a valid win. You are getting payment by penalty because the person that discarded a joker didn't say joker, same, or the last tile. So we have a lot of videos just on this and pictures, but if you see things otherwise to this, forward it to us so we could try to help clear it up. 2025 hand of the day, we're sticking in that winds and dragons section, but today we're going with number 2. So it's a pair of flowers, 1, 2, 3, a pair of dragons, a hung of dragons, a Kong. So it's a pair, a single, 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 a pair, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind. So when you're looking at this, the font color, the 1, 2, 3, whether you see black or you see navy, because that's a debate, the 1, 2, 3 and the Kong of dragons, the 4 dragons are in the same color. As a note, anytime there's any kind of possible confusion, we always check with the league to make sure that we are reading the hands correctly. And they have confirmed that the run, the 1, 2, 3, or the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, does not need to be the same suit as the dragons used for the Kong. So that run could be any number starting with 1, as long as it ends with 9, 3 consecutive numbers. And if that's in crack, the Kong could be white dragons or red dragons or green dragons. It does not matter. Our YouTube video of the day, we suggest you visit our YouTube playlist. You could see Donna and I going through certain key hands from our frequently asked questions, but actually with tiles. And that helps a lot of people to just visualize that. So we hope that you find this helpful. And we have some information. Our card class is taking place in person on April 27th. We've had great reaction to our 2 different times offering our Zoom class. It's going to be April 28th and April 30th. We have an evening option and a daytime option. They're both on Zoom, and you could register on modernmahjong.com. What should we discuss next in our daily talk of the tiles? Comment below or send us an email with your topics. If you aren't following us, what are you missing out on? We hope you enjoy your coffee. I'm ready for a second cup. Have a great day and a great game.